What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, we're taking a look at the Ripple XRP price chart. Obviously, we have had a massive sell-off event take place throughout the evening. Holy moly, prices have fallen drastically since the SEC made their formal announcement of charges against Ripple and Chris Larsen and Brad Garlinghouse. If you're unaware, last night the SEC announced that it's charging Ripple and two executives with conducting a $1.3 billion unregistered securities offering, in which you've got about a 2-page little document right here, maybe 1 page. However, at the same time, they did release a 71-page case that they have right here. So you can dive deep into this whole thing. I'll put a link to this on my Twitter page at bcbacker. But last night, as I laid in bed, I read the entire document. And well, as everybody has probably figured out by now, at the moment of the releasing of this document and these charges, XRP drastically fell throughout the evening, losing a total of about 35%. At this point, we have now lost several key levels in the hopes of following a 2017 bull run structure, which over the last 2 weeks, I've done 2 videos deep diving it into microscopic timeframes to show how incredibly identical they were compared to the past. But now that those structures have been lost right here in these last 15 hours, the big question begs, are we now diverting? Are we deviating from what we've seen previously? And so in this video, we're going to take a closer look at the XRP price chart to determine what is happening here on this price action. Is there any type of support level coming in right here? Can we find an optimistic viewpoint here on the XRP price chart to say, wait a minute, that looks like it could be the bottom? Obviously, we have a massive catalyst event happening at the exact same time. After reading through that 71-page document, I can tell you the breadth and scope of what the SEC is claiming is far beyond just saying XRP is a security. One thing I've learned in the past over the history of being in the cryptocurrency market is how perfectly timed some events can occur. And we'll tie back into that in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at XRP and discuss what has happened here with the price action. I'll take some of these lines off the screen real quick and we'll revisit them here in just a second. But we'll keep just this one because a lot of people who have been in this market over the course of the last year and a half are very well aware of this price level. This is 30.5 cents. Over the course of all of 2020 and the second half of 2019, we were unable to clear above 30.5 cents. Throughout 2018 and early 2019, it was our support level, unable to close a candle below this level until it finally broke it, and then unable to close a candle above this level. Interestingly enough, back in 2017, after our first bull run, we were unable to close candles above this level as well. So throughout the course of September, October, November, talking about 30.5 cents is our big level. We had like weekly, nightly live streams into candle closes. We had the monthly candle live stream into the candle close to celebrate the breakout of this price level. Well, welcome back to it. We have now back tested this price level. Unfortunately, it was much deeper than the expectations were, and it's mixed with a very uncertain catalyst event at the exact same time. One thing to always know in the United States is that you're innocent until proven guilty. Everybody has the opportunity to defend themselves, and many times in charging instruments, some things can be exaggerated or untrue, and there's no way to really know until it comes time for court. One side presents their case, the other side presents their case, and then as requested in the 71-page document, the SEC demands a trial by jury to where a jury will decide. Sometimes these things do get settled without that, but the SEC has made their statement they would like to have a jury trial. So everybody has the opportunity to present their case and defend themselves and make their arguments, and that's when you really get to see who has the truth. But the breadth and scope of that 71-page document goes well beyond saying that XRP is a security. It makes very many accusations about the actual CEOs selling their own personal stashes of XRP, using market makers, their compensation plan being tied to increasing the price of XRP and then selling their XRP after increasing the prices. A lot of different things, a lot of different accusations are made in that document, and we'll have to wait and see how serious all of this really is as time progresses and the courts play out. I encourage everybody to read that document. And if you have a hard time finding the link to it, you can just type in sec.gov /Ripple into Google and find it right here, Complaint Ripple Labs. But let's take a look at the price chart from a just technical level and from a perspective of a human being saying, is everything going to be okay, right? I think that's the thing that we all care about. Is everything going to be okay? Is this just a technical move, or is this far more than that at this point? Well, we don't really know the answers in regards to how serious it is with the SEC. There's going to be a lot of different theories out there on what's happening right now. Is this a timed news drop? Is this specifically to scare people not to buy the back test of 30.5 cents? That's always possible. Is it possible that everything in that document is true? Yes, that's true. That's possible as well. So could it be bad? Could it not be bad? It's a big debate. We're less than 24 hours after the SEC has made all these announcements, and right now it's a really uncertain time. So you have a big uncertain time where not a bunch of information is out there, and at the same time we're back testing 30.5 at the exact same time. So it's a really, really wild time right now, right? And I know a lot of people, they tune into my channel for a pick me up and a little bit of reassurance. And of course, I want to provide you that. But at the same time, I always try to come at it from as big of a realistic approach, right? There's no way for me to know how serious this document is with the SEC and if it's going to end up being something big. And well, we have to take it for what it is. But, then you have to look at it from the bigger perspective, right? Is this thing being downplayed in this document? Is XRP going to be something much, much bigger than ever once thought before? And what we're witnessing is an attack on the escrow, right? So Ripple owns about 55 billion XRPs at this point. And is there the possibility that somebody's trying to take control of that? Well, in that charging document, the consequences of what they want and what they're pursuing is for Chris Larson, Brad Garlinghouse to give up all the proceeds of what they've ever made from selling any XRP, based on my understanding of what I've read, which is approximately $600 million from selling XRP, and well, most likely not be able to sell any more XRP on the open market. So who's going after it? I don't know. Is somebody going after it? Is this a play? Is this way more than just what it looks to be on the surface? That's going to be the thing that has to kind of be figured out in the coming weeks. But without a question, once the news broke, we lost our monthly support. We lost all kinds of supports, shattering them down after the SEC released the 71-page document. The really positive news, right? So let's look at everything from the positive light, right? Because right now it's very easy to look at it from the negative light. But the positive light we can look at it from is to say we know that there was a breakout at 30.5 cents. We did live streams. We did a weekly live stream. We did a monthly live stream to celebrate the breaking of 30.5 cents. Even in those live streams, we were nowhere near 30.5 cents. We were just celebrating the fact that we had gotten above it and cleared it. And it was a huge celebration for all of us. And well, coming back to back test it, however unfortunate it is, however much we deviate from the 2017 structures that we've seen, it does make perfect sense to have a backtest of a major breakout level. For all the people that were with this channel for at least the last 3 or 4 months, we all remember this dreaded box that was drawn right back in here for the support test that would come back down to hit this level. If we draw the same little box with these candle closes once again right here on the same levels of the previous wave, just like we did on this previous wave, look where we come back to hit. Same box, same location of the previous wave, mixed with being the back test of the weekly resistance that held us down for nearly a year and a half, which was also our monthly resistance that has acted as a resistance and a support level for the last 3.5 years. And then, to really throw your mind for a wander, look what Fibonacci we're at, and look where we are, 702. And it's a really complicated situation right here, right now. It's a mix, right? Are you seeing the absolute greatest opportunity of your life right here on the XRP price chart for the future at this point, right? You get the actual backtest happening. You get the massive catalyst news of fear happening. I've seen several people on Twitter, people that have been in XRP for the longest time, capitulating on their bags. People who have been around for a very long time capitulating on their bags at this point. So you have rattled people to their core who have actually been long-term believers. And are we witnessing that opportunity of it's the absolute best time to buy right now because we're at the back test, and we also have the extreme fear news at the exact same time? Or are you just being a dummy? Right? You get a mix of that. And that's what happens a lot in these corrections in these bull markets is that you see these types of things where things overextend, things get super scary. And in the 2017 bull run, I'll never forget it. At every single one of those big corrections that Bitcoin had, this was it. That was it. Bitcoin's going to zero. It's over. We're done. That's the end of it. Goes down. It hits $1,800. Boom. It bounces way back up. And then in the next correction, falls all the way down to $3,000. That's it. We're going to zero. It's over. Boom. Then it bounces up and keeps going. And it's always like that, that there's extreme fear and extreme pain at the bottom of these things. The problem with this one, obviously, is that we have the massive catalyst that has happened in the last 24 hours. In 2017, I'll never forget it when China came out and they banned cryptocurrency and how it was perfectly timed and it was extreme fear. And I believe that was the correction that went down to $3,000, or maybe the one that went down to 5,000. But it was just a perfectly timed event of extreme fear that, one of the largest countries in the entire world just banned cryptocurrency. And what does that really mean? Everybody knew that China was trading crypto like crazy, but boom, they're gone. They can't do it anymore. It created an extremely fearful event to happen to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies at that time, yet they recovered and kept on going. But a lot of people sold into that narrative at the same time. So it's a really complicated situation right here. We see the back test of the 30.5 cents. We see the massive narrative and catalyst happening at the exact same time. The big question is, are these charging instruments, are these accusations going to have a lasting impact on the actual price of XRP, or is it not? And that's the big question that has to be answered. And now at this point, all eyes are on whether or not 30.5 cents is going to hold. November broke out above it. Will December hold above it? I would certainly want to see 30.5 cents hold throughout December, which means we have 8 days remaining to sit here and watch it to see if we're going to hold this price level. And that's the level that I find incredibly important that the December monthly candle closes above that price level and holds it, because then we still just have a breakout and a backtest that has occurred. With Bitcoin being up there at $23,700 right now in a new all-time high, the market in itself is very optimistic. This breakout is very optimistic. The backtest is not ideal and not what we had hoped for. And this black swan event showing up in the last 24 hours was not ideal. But I promise you, there's a lot of people out there who are thrilled about it and got to buy it. The question is this the biggest and most epically performed shakeout in history, or is there more seriousness to this that has to be uncovered, which we will find out in the coming weeks and months, I am sure of. But man, you could not ask for a more scarier event to occur at the exact same time as it backtests a price level that it took a year and a half to break out from. Quite amazing. But as for me, I keep my eye on the prize and understanding that Bitcoin is at an all-time high, and that has always translated into incredible runs for the entire cryptocurrency market. So while we may get this short-term scary event that takes place, I don't lose my faith. I continue pushing forward. You do you. You figure out what's right for you. But as for me, I don't let things shake me out, especially not when I'm seeing Bitcoin sitting at an all-time high and knowing that every single time that Bitcoin has gone into an all-time high, we have had an alt season, and that includes XRP. So while we may be dealing with a massive black swan event that just showed up out of nowhere within these last 24 to 48 hours, in the end, it's important in these times to just take that zoomed out look. I see people capitulating. I see people selling. They're posting it on Twitter. They use all the same things that I've told you about on this channel, that when people end up capitulating in the corrections of bull markets, they justify it by saying I'm in profit, but I'm going to take some risk off the table. But they don't take that risk off the table when prices are high. They take the risk off the table when the prices are low. It's capitulating, and we have it all the time, even in bull markets. And right now is a very scary time for a lot of people, and I understand that, especially with the uncertainty of what's happening with this filing from the SEC. But as for me, I stick to my plan and understand what's going on in crypto. This is a bull market. XRP has back tested its 30.5 cents, and you are supposed to be scared and terrified, and whatever you do, don't buy it because you're supposed to be in fear. But you better believe it, I just added to my bag. Nothing changes from my plans. This market is still bullish and Bitcoin is still at an all-time high, and just because there's a 24-hour news event does not make me change my mind. I stick to my plan just like I have over here on bcbacker.com. There's not a chance in the world I'm changing it. If you want to understand why I remain bullish, and regardless of what happens in a short-term time frame, I outline exactly what goes on in this market, talking about those previous Bitcoin bull runs and the different altcoin market cycles. And we currently have Bitcoin at an all-time high. We may get some type of 24-hour black swan news catalyst show up, but absolutely nothing changes from a structural standpoint for what this market is doing, and I'm sticking to my plans. I've got my exit plans on here, talking about percentages and mathematics and forecasting and managing emotions. But you can check that out over here on bcbacker.com. Follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker, and if you'd like to see the links to the 71-page document to the SEC filing along with Ripple's response, I'll have the links over here on my Twitter. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I know we're going to get through this. We've been through these moments before, and things turn around. No matter how gloomy things get, they always get better. And no matter how great things get, there usually becomes a period of doomy. So we will turn this thing around. I'm confident we'll turn it around, and you have to just look to the whole market. Ripple has postured, along with Brad Garlinghouse, to state that they're going to have no problems coming back to fight this thing. Their allies throughout the world have agreed that there's going to be no issues fighting this thing. And well, I'm going to take them for their word on that. And I'm going to chalk this up as the most epic way to shake out a market and instill fear in them after backtesting the breakout that happened at 30.5 cents. So as we head into the holiday season, the things we are looking for throughout December, of course, are going to be to hold the big level, the one that we broke out from, the one that we live streamed through multiple times on a weekly close and monthly close, and that 30.5 cents can continue to hold and be our new support level after crushing it in November. Because as for me, there is not a chance in the world that I'm selling any of my digital assets to put it all into dollars as we continue and approve to print trillions more. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need to pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.